Welcome to BitBoy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. Are we going to change the color?
To what?
I don't know, something that I don't look like I'm blending into the shop. Yeah, there we go. I like it. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the people's channel, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto. My name is Ben. We come to you live every single day at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is Wednesday, April 27th. Make sure I get that door cracked a little bit more.
It's cracked, but
Okay.
a little more.
It's already 75.
Yeah.
So when it starts at 75. So we come to you live every day, as you guys know. Excited to talk crypto today with you guys. There is a lot going on in the social media world. Elon Musk, there's a lot going on in the stock markets. You know, I was talking to one of our researchers. He said that there's a big problem with the Shanghai stock market is like at the same levels it was at the beginning of the pandemic when it crashed. So is that something we're going to see here? I don't know. Luis Quintana says, let's go Heat. Yeah, I mean, he won. No question about it. You do have to admit, though, those refs were not very good that series. But sucks. Hawks lost. You know, always next year we'll get them trade. We need one more player. We need one. You know, maybe it's DeAndre Hunter. Maybe he turns into it. He had a great game till a phantom foul last night. But all right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get started here. BitBoy Crypto, 1.45 million subscribers. Don't forget to hit up all of our other channels. BitBoy Bits, almost to 4,000 subscribers. Trying some new thumbnails over there. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. We are at today 834.1 thousand followers. Did you see this meme somebody made?
No.
In sheer disbelief, Art's Kathy Wood reaches out to crypto expert Ben Armstrong for financial advice.
Wow. That's funny.
I did advise her, but I told her that I'm not a financial advisor.
Just buy Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, that's a good one. Whoever made that, I salute you. That was definitely good. But we aren't talking to Kathy Wood. But today, TJ, Aaron, and I were going to Sacramento. We are meeting with the House Majority Leader of the State House in California to talk about a blockchain regulation bill with them and to give my my thoughts. I think California's got to get a little ahead of the 8 ball instead of behind it at this point, because if they're not careful, they're going to lose a lot of companies. They're already losing a lot of companies. They do need to reverse that. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow. We're not doing a meetup in Sacramento. We're just not there long enough to plan something like that. And so I don't know. If we end up anywhere in public, around the Capitol, say hello if you see us. But we're not planning anything structured because it's a very quick trip. We're not even gone for 48 hours. So let's check out. Let's see. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, BitBoy_crypto. Don't forget to hit us up on Facebook. We just hit 150,000 followers on Facebook. Hit merch.com for all your merch gear. We got a really interesting video coming out for you guys this weekend. I think we should do the phone, we should do the live stream tomorrow from the hotel, and then Friday, DZ and Frank can do the live stream. So I'll still will be with you guys tomorrow morning for a live stream. But it'll be shorter than normal because we won't be in studio. But we've got some interesting videos coming out this weekend. One talking about the scam of accredited investing. Such a scam, geared to keep retail investors poor and to make institutions rich.
It is. It's just so frustrating. I don't know who comes up with this stuff, but I feel like it's common sense to look at these things and say, that sounds like it's designed to keep people in certain places.
Well, yeah, but they think you're so dumb you don't know. You don't notice.
Well,
that's what it boils down to.
Well, and they're kind of right for a lot of people. A lot of people don't notice. Yeah. Now, people aren't dumb in the sense of when you point it out, they clearly say that doesn't make any sense, but they don't tend to ask a lot of questions until recently, anyway.
Well, the system's being exposed right now.
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, you look at the inflation, you look at what's happening. We understand that the system is broken and it can't be fixed. It has to be replaced. And that's what we are moving towards. That's why, we talk crypto every day, because this is the step to get blockchain, implemented and, replace some of these systems. It's going to be a long process. It's not going to happen overnight, but definitely something that, I see coming in the future. Back to the markets here. I guess we probably need to cover that. $1.78 trillion in market cap, down below 1.8 for the first time in a while. $101 billion in volume. So the volume dropped, or the market cap drops significantly. The volume moves up. That should tell you something. More money is flowing in as the price is dropping, or more money is flowing out than, the normal volume on a day-to-day basis. Bitcoin, 41.4% going up, 19.2% dominance for ETH going down. 32 Paraguays will send you an ETH transaction. Whatever happened to Paraguay accepting Bitcoin as legal tender, right? Like, that's why we started that joke.
Yeah.
Over a year ago. It never happened.
It never happened.
Never happened. Looking at the Bitcoin price, we're at 38,992. It dropped down to, I believe, 37.3. 37.3 last night. Jay Chains and Justin and Jim and I were at the Braves game, and I'm sitting there watching the game, and the price was just plummeting. I looked up the 24-hour chart.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the 24-hour chart. It's actually like the last 24-hour chart that starts at the time of the opening, and it's just a real simple one that it shows on TradingView when you pull it up.
Yeah. And
so trading had only been going on for a couple minutes, and it was crazy. Like, it went like straight down. But it did bounce back a little bit. And, that 39,000 seems to be becoming resistance instead of support. And that is a very, interesting scenario for Bitcoin in the short term, because if it clearly loses 39 and loses it, we got to start looking back down at 35, 36 is probably where it's going next. That 39,000 is a huge support level. We've crashed through it a couple times. We've bounced back above it a few times. We'll have Frank give a little more on that here in a little bit. Ethereum, 28.64. We have Binance Coin, well under $400. XRP, 65 cents, about where it was yesterday.
Wow,
Solana up a tad.
Yeah, but where did it cap out? 250-ish, Solana peaked? And now it's under 100?
I think that's a great question. What did it peak at? They
Maybe
all run together.
Maybe it didn't. I know they all do start to run together. Maybe it didn't get that.
No, it got higher than that, I believe.
Higher?
260.
Okay.
260 was the high. So pretty close, 250.
That was rounding.
And we were talking about, we had said originally $500 would be a incredible price point for Solana. And it was at 250 and everything was really strong. It's like, how high can this thing go to $1,000? And that was the peak. So yeah, let's go back, check out the top movers of the day. We have Secret, Arweave, ApeCoin. ApeCoin still up 18% for the week. We're filming a video right after the live stream where we're going to mutate a Bored Ape into a Mutant Ape and pick up some ApeCoin, which will be pretty fun. AMP with a little reversal yesterday. Cosmos and Helium down for the week big, so they did move a little bit. ZRX up big for the week. Biggest gainers of the week so far. Kyber, ZRX, ApeCoin, pretty much the same ones, the last few days have been at the tops there. As far as the price goes of Bitcoin, let's bring up old Frankie Candles. Let's see what he has to say
Frankie
about
Sauce.
the charts.
Is he here?
Is Frank not in here?
I was going to say, I don't.
Is Frank here?
Have I seen Frank?
I haven't seen Frank today. Is Frank dead? Did Frank die?
No, wait. I think he's like, Frank's scheduled personal time today and tomorrow. He's out of town.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
I forgot.
Guys, Frankie Candles will not be joining us today. So.
Oh, no.
It's going to be dangerous.
You're going to have to do some TA, which you swore you'd never look at the charts again. They're a lot more fun in a bull market.
What is it?
That's what it is you only TA when it's bullish. In a bear market, we got to get somebody else to do the TA. because it's just
Well, you know what?
too sad.
I don't do traditional TA. You guys know I'll use market Cipher. I have a different kind of research I do into the charts. And one of the videos we got coming out this weekend, we decided instead of actually making it into a standard scripted video, we were just going to video the behind the scenes of us coming up with these numbers of where we think Bitcoin is going to be, where it's going to bottom, when it's going to bottom, how far are we from the top, from a new all-time high. And you're going to see, like, it's pretty simple. We're not doing any, like, really insane, analytical digging. It really is just simple, just comparing the charts over a longer time frames, and comparing the Bitcoin cycles. And you guys are going to see that video over the weekend. We're going to tell you where we think Bitcoin has a good chance to bottom. We're going to do 3 videos kind of along these lines, comparing the 2013-14 bull run to this one, or bear market, the 2014 to 2015 bear market, to where we're at now. We're going to be taking a look at another video at the last cycle compared to now, and then we're going to average them together for one. But it's going to be really interesting to kind of see the way that, my brain works, and, how we were able to come up with a lot of the timelines that have been very accurate. The numbers weren't not so much. The diminishing returns hit us way harder than we thought.
I saw some interesting tweets over the weekend. I think it was Loma Crypto or whatever, talking about, he basically saying, I don't understand, for those of you that have been here now through multiple cycles, how you're still feeling bullet. Like, how do you not see what's going on right now?
It's different this time.
And that's what he's saying.
So much adoption.
How can people go through 2 whole cycles and still not see where we are in the cycle right now? Like, if you're new, you haven't done it before, that's one thing. And you can make a case that things will change slightly, maybe diminished returns, diminished drawdowns, that kind of stuff makes sense. But if you track the 4-year cycles, it follows it pretty consistently across the board. And we haven't seen hardly any indicators that show deviation from it yet. So I don't know.
So what's interesting is when you look at, let's go into, this is more fun than looking at the price of Bitcoin anyways.
And then similarly, Cowan said, I don't know if it was in response to that or just individually, he said, when the last die-hard bull flips bearish, that's usually the start of the bull market. Like the last denier out there that's saying, it's bullish, it's bullish, it's bullish.
Takes so long.
It does.
Let's see.
Some time still.
Oh, you have to pay for this? Get premium access? Can you not look at just the regular charts on this thing? Pay with card, trading indication. You got to subscribe. Oh, well, good for him. Making money on the into the cryptoverse. But he's got the lengthening cycles charts. And I'm going to show you guys where I think the hole is in this theory. And look, it could still, there's a possibility. But basically it's, that's, I want the still image, but this will be fine. Let's see. Okay, so basically what it's showing here is it shows that right now we're on like the 4th cycle here. And this is, where are we at right now? This would have been from September of last year. And you can see it hasn't followed along. Like this would have been in September, has not followed along this track that they were expecting it to. So the idea is this first cycle was 413 days. The second cycle was 322 days longer. The third cycle was 231 days longer than that. And the 4th cycle is the current one we're on. But when you look at the Bitcoin, halving charts, that we measure from the halvings. Like we don't measure necessarily from, we don't, he separates the beginning of a Bitcoin into 2 separate cycles. He does it from like 2009 to 2011, and then from 2012 to 2000 and whatever it is, 2011 to 2015.
Well, that would if you separate the first cycle into 2, that would naturally create a lengthening cycle theory if you think about it.
Right, because you got 2, 4, 6.
Yeah,
but it's based on the halving. It's 4, 4, 4, 4 is what we've seen, and where his theory breaks down, I think, is the way that he classifies that first cycle, the unpredictable volatility of Bitcoin being a completely new asset that wasn't even available for transactions at that point. No one had used Bitcoin up until, you know, someone bought the pizza, or a couple just random transactions sending it. A good had never been purchased till 2011, I think it was. Maybe it was 2010. But the point here is that when it comes to these Bitcoin cycles, if you break that down into two separate cycles, his theory makes sense. But most people don't do that. That seems to stick to a standard 444. So you guys can see, you know, this is the first full cycle, and this is the second full cycle. And you can see they're almost exactly the same length. And right now where we're at, you know, it seems to mimic what we've seen in the past with the 4-year cycle. So I think that's something really important to understand.
Push in on that a little bit just so I can see it better.
It's hard. It won't go.
No,
it won't go that much bigger. I can't make it any bigger for you, TJ.
That's
so big for you.
That's what I heard.
There it is. So, you know, I think when you really step outside of headlines and you look at the history of Bitcoin, it's very apparent where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at some of the headlines and things that are bullish, you get confused, because right now the price of Bitcoin is overvalued compared to the demand for it. But when it comes to the actual value of Bitcoin over the long term, it's way undervalued. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense to me. I'm sure if you didn't get it, back it up and listen to it again. Clip that.
Yeah, somebody clipped that. That was good. Somebody clip me and TJ saying clip it.
Clip it
that
real good.
Yeah.
Where can they find that chart?
I just Googled Bitcoin cycles chart. I mean, that's really not, this is one of my favorite ones to show, but this doesn't go back. So none of our Bitcoin charts actually go back to the beginning of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin did not have a price in the beginning. The estimate is for Bitcoin for a penny. That's the estimate of the original value of Bitcoin from the first one that was mined. Okay. For Bitcoin for a penny. That's why you got to remember the biggest gains of Bitcoin are way long gone. They're actually, if you try to do the percentages, it shows up infinite. Like that's how much of a gain Bitcoin has had. It's infinite. That's the percentage. It's insane when you look it up. But the idea is that in the beginning, we didn't have price trackers. That's why when you look at Bitstamp, starts like 2012 or 2011, whatever it is, because we didn't have anything before that. So Benjamin Cowan separates out those first 2 years that we didn't have a lot of tracking and says it was its own thing. So I think that's, you know, if you really think about the halving, I think this still lines up perfectly with the 4-year cycle theory, because when you think about the halving, you understand that the halving is the midpoint of the cycle, really. You know, it's the action before it is slightly upwards, but the exciting part is afterwards, because you get the giant run up and then the giant dump. So, you know, we still kind of got that in 2009 to 2011. So it seems like if you would have taken Bitcoin and, you know, mapped out what it might have looked like if it was created in 2005 instead of 2009, I think you still would have had the same kind of, you know, mimicking movement on the chart. So, but there's tons of charts out there. I like this golden bull cycle ratio. This is what we based a lot of our dates on when we thought things would top, which we were pretty close. We'll never take credit for nailing the numbers because we were way off. But the timeline, we were dead on. The golden bull cycle ratio is where we got a lot of that stuff from. So let's see here. 16 to 20K definitely will be the bottom in August. I don't agree with that. YO Trader says, even if we were wrong and the 4-year cycle was dead, the stock market problems now will probably still force a major dip this year anyways. Okay, that's a very interesting thought. What I will tell you on that is I would say that that's not accurate. I would say that because Bitcoin is already on downward action and this stock market is dropping now, is going to push it further down. I think if this were reversed and this were happening 2 years from now, I think the big narrative, because the halving would be increasing the demand and decreasing the amount of new supply, that would actually probably make Bitcoin run completely counter to the stock market for 2 years. So eventually it's all going to be one thing. So Bitcoin, or Ben, how many Bitcoin are lost and can never come back to the market? They say 4.5 million. That's a gigantic number. As far as the price goes, altcoins are selling off as Bitcoin price drops to its macro level support of $38,000. The crypto market and wider global financial market fell under pressure on April 26th after the hype surrounding Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter began to fade. God, we have no attention spans in the world. And concerns about the state of the global economy took the forefront again. Tech stocks were hard hit. The price action looks like a continuation of weakness. Bitcoin retesting its macro range low. And if you look at the chart, you will see that, as far as, Frankie's famous golden pocket, you can see we have plunged below it twice. The more times we plunge below, the more likely it is, this is the daily chart, the more likely it is to go below it, and that would flip into resistance instead of support. So something to watch here. I know Frank likes showing the DXY. Look at that.
Break through that trend line? Yeah, it did. Is that his line, the white line?
It sure is. It sure is.
Yeah.
Look at that. We broke through it.
Well, it's going to keep...
Now, here's something that's interesting. That people... Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, no, I was just going to say it's going to keep going as long as they're talking about raising rates. And if they do that 0.75 like they're talking about, it's going to just...
Frank said he didn't think it was going to get to this level. I said I thought that it would. I didn't think it would break through it.
Yeah.
But, I think something that's really fascinating here is a lot of people don't realize we've been looking at this, but zoom out. Zoom out a little bit further. Let's go back to... Let me close this. Let's see here. Go back to a peak. Back here. Like we actually went. Did I move that line on accident? Okay. The peak is actually back here at 121, right around the time of the dot-com bubble. So very interesting here when you zoom out. Like there are levels that this can get to that are much higher than where it is now. So are we going to see something similar to, the stock market crash around the dot-com bubble pop? We're going to see that with tech stocks. I think it's altogether possible. So, wow, that's scary stuff right there. And what is the DXY doing? Or the SPY?
Getting crushed.
Oh my gosh.
You saw, I think Tesla ended up losing 70%.
Yeah, well, we're gonna let's talk about let's go ahead and do Elon Musk. We'll come to the Bitcoin short squeeze after that.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about that. So what were you saying about Tesla?
Just now?
Yeah.
I don't
Can you just say something?
No.
Or you said
I can't remember. I was looking up, somebody was saying we should go to the Warriors game. I was looking up how far Sacramento was from San Francisco. Pretty far.
It's probably an hour.
It's an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
During traffic, it might be bad. Yeah. Guys, we have 4,700 people watching. We almost got 1,000 likes. If you could help us, stop what you're doing, pause, hit the like button. If you're watching on mobile, X out of the live chat, hit the like button, and then come back in. If you're watching on smart TV, bottom left-hand corner of your screen, more actions, more options, and then make sure to hit that react and like button. We certainly appreciate it. The BitSquad salutes you.
I was talking about, that's what it was. I was saying Netflix lost 70% of its value.
Yeah. No, it's similar to Facebook. It was like 30% a day or 20% a day.
Crushed.
So I want to talk about this merger because this is super interesting stuff that's going on here with the way that Elon Musk, we mentioned yesterday on the show, how did he come up with the liquidity to buy it? Well, he took a $12.5 billion loan to provide the extra money and liquidity he needed above, $32 billion to get the number of $44 billion. Elon Musk will have to pay Twitter a $1 billion termination fee if he doesn't go through with his $44 billion acquisition. The filing, which details the terms of the agreement, indicates Twitter would have to pay the same fee under specific circumstances. He bought it at $54.20. Funds for the deal are being pulled from several sources, including Morgan Stanley and other institutions have committed to providing $13 billion in financing, along with $12.5 billion in margin loans to Musk. So here's what's super crazy. Could Elon Musk face a margin call on his Tesla shares? Very interesting here. because the stock market seems to be crashing, right?
Yeah.
He gets margin called on $63 billion worth of Tesla shares. If Tesla goes from about $900 to, I think it's like $550.
Yeah, something like that. I think I saw 520 or
It's
somewhere.
a $12.5 billion loan where he's collateralized $62 billion worth of Tesla shares.
Right.
I believe is the way that works.
Yep.
Very insane. It's anyone's guess how the deal will wind up. But here, Tesla stocks pledges collateral. If you're a Tesla owner, how do you feel about him using that as collateral? But he wouldn't be selling it.
No,
if
he's
it
not. It's
If it
basically
got called, he hands it over to the
Yeah, it gets held in
lender.
escrow. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically the same thing we do. Like if you know how to do a Bitcoin collateralized loan, it's basically the same thing where they say, okay, you've got this asset over here, say it's worth 60, 70 billion dollars. We'll loan at say 25% of the value of that. For him, $12 billion and change we'll give you for the $60 billion worth of shares. We're going to hold the shares, and that's our collateral for this loan. Now, if the price of those shares were to drop and that 60 billion becomes 30 billion, now he either needs to come up with the difference or, pay off the loan in full, more or less. So that's where things could get dicey if they were to experience a pretty dramatic, and I think it's only like 20%, 10 to 20% hit, which is dramatic for the stock market,
Yeah.
but Tesla's been pretty volatile.
No, it's more, like to get the margin call, what it would have to drop.
Yeah.
No, it's like 30%. It's
Okay.
pretty significant.
Yeah.
Because it's 975 was support. It lost that. So right now it's at $900. I think, yeah, $570. If it went to 570.
Yeah.
So that's like a 40% drop.
So that would be not common for the stock market, obviously, but we're in uncommon times right now. And there's no guarantee also. It's not like he's just out of luck. He'd either have to come up with more money. He'd have to raise more money.
I mean, look, guys, here's the thing. This is super interesting to talk about because this is a world that like most of us don't live in. Probably no one watching this channel lives in a world even close to the orbit where Elon Musk and the owners of, Twitter and, BlackRock, we don't live in that world. We talk about it. We don't live in it. Okay. Well, you say we live in their world, but it's interesting to talk about like these, if he were to get margin called, because, like we talk about leverage trading a good bit, we have in the history of the channel. And, like people get wicked out and, liquidated all the time. These are risks that these high level and, investors and CEOs make with these shares when they do things like this. But it feels like something dramatic would have to, when you think he has enough money that he could like single-handedly buy the price back up?
More or less. I mean,
I don't know if he does, like maybe from SpaceX. I'm not sure.
Not single-handedly, but he definitely knows people who
He knows people.
could. And guess what?
I'll take a phone call from you right now, Elon.
They're also involved with Twitter and Tesla and SpaceX. I mean, it's also like that's what's so interesting when you look at people like Vanguard and BlackRock is guess who pumped up the price of Netflix? Guess who probably pulled a lot of that out to put it into Twitter last week?
Yep.
And then look what happens to Netflix. Look what happens to Twitter. So they're just pumping and dumping on all you guys at a much bigger scale.
It's the entire accredited investor scheme.
Yeah.
They're buying it. Price is way lower than you'll get it when it goes public. I don't understand people that buy things when they go public.
Well,
because they almost always drop.
Yes.
That's the way the system works.
Yes
is
and no.
The people in the behind the scenes make the money. They sell off. When the public is buying, they're selling their bags to them. Like Facebook dumped huge. Robinhood dumped huge. Coinbase dumped huge. Like Coinbase went up the day of, and then it started crashing. So, like to me, I don't know why people like for these major company launches, like why would you not just wait when that's the track record in the history?
It's FOMO. There's not always a guarantee you can get it at a cheaper price.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move on here. Let's talk about Bitcoin's derivative data suggesting potential for short squeeze. Basically, what a short squeeze is when a lot of people are over leveraged with shorts. Somebody comes and pumps the price up, and then they get liquidated. These are healthy things for the market. It sounds awful if you're getting liquidated. These are healthy things for the market that kind of help establish equilibriums. A short squeeze occurs when an unexpected rise in the asset's price has bears unwinding their positions. That in turn leads to a further price rally. And by unexpected rise, it means most people don't see it coming.
Right.
But an unexpected rise in the price is always someone pumping the price. Like, it's not like all of a sudden randomly at 2:00 on a Thursday afternoon, everybody decided they wanted to buy Bitcoin. Like, that's not what happens. Sometimes there are fundamental events that lead to something like that. But that's not what this is about. The unexpected, out of nowhere moves, the BART patterns, if you will. Macro traders expecting a continued decline in Bitcoin should look at the positioning in the derivatives market. Otherwise, they risk being caught off guard by a potential short squeeze. Rapid move higher driven by bears abandoning their bearish bets. For a short squeeze to occur, the market needs to have a higher than usual bearish activity. Such situations, a minor price bump can send bears or short sellers running to square off their positions. This is the second highest daily tally in number of Bitcoin moved in the week. January 4th, there were 260K. There were almost 260K moved earlier this week. Most of them could be short positions. I think here's where this bear market is super fascinating. Much different than the last bear market. It feels the same in a lot of ways, but we did not get the max numbers we thought we were going to get.
Right.
We did not draw in the number of retailers outside of meme coins that we thought we were going to get. I think there is also something to the theory that a lot of the money that would have been moving to move Bitcoin up further went into Shiba and Doge.
Absolutely.
I think there is something there.
It's so funny you say that. I was literally laying in bed last night thinking, like, how is 12 cents now a good spot to buy Doge? Like, weren't we just talking about it maybe getting to like 4 cents, 3 cents? I felt like it was just a penny. You know,
lucky if it get back over a penny.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And now it's like, yeah, 10 cents looks pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. So we didn't get those high numbers. So people aren't expecting the same level of drop. And so where do you take your profits if you're a bear at this point? You know, you take them around 35, take them around 33, take them around 30. I know some people got the bets, 24, 17,000, whatever. I don't think it's going that low. But here's the question. Where are all the sellers? Like, where are the sellers? Outside of institutions, price manipulators, market manipulators, is your average retail investor selling Bitcoin right now, you think?
No, I think they already have. Like the retail people that would be selling, I think already have. So, yeah.
That's what's so interesting is I felt like in 2018, I feel like it was the hash wars that brought out people being more, because everything was that was the most negative time ever in crypto for that 1 month period. There was contentiousness in the space, between Bitcoin Cash, Craig Wright, all these people. And it was a very negative time. And then they manipulated the price down. There's some reasons for that, which we, not going to get into right now. But that squeezed even more people out. I don't know, because we've been talking about recession. We've been talking about, a huge price drop that could be coming. I think people are more prepared for something like this time. That one came kind of out of the blue when it went. People were thinking 6 was probably near the bottom, and then it dropped 50%, basically in a couple-day period. So I just don't know who this. The retail has been gone for a year now.
So this is something I was thinking about. I wanted to bounce off you, like a theory when we're talking about diminishing returns and some of this stuff.
Yeah.
When you're talking about the feeling of the market, right? And it does feel similar, but a little different than last time. To me, it feels like institutions and big money is starting to kind of get their hands around this market a little bit more, get a little bit more control over it. Not completely, but if you think about last time, I felt like this big kind of burst came. They had kind of written it off before. It's like, this is probably not going to stick. Then all this money started flying around. They're like, oh, maybe we should start preparing for this. This time, I feel like they were a lot more prepared to take money off the table when they were ready and keep prices in line, make sure it balances with all the other markets they're trying to manipulate and control.
Think about this. Think about what is the craziest thing in our economy right now, you think? I'm just curious if you would say the same thing. I would say
The craziest, golly,
Yeah.
that's a tough one.
like something that like it just continues to get way more outlandish to the point I don't know how much more outlandish it can get.
When you say our economy, you mean global or U.S.?
United States specifically.
I mean, the rates are pretty wild,
Rates are pretty wild,
and
for sure.
like the bond market is out of control.
right? And what other interest rates have that affected dramatically?
What other interest? Like
Yeah.
you're not talking the Fed, you're not talking the bond
The
yields,
mortgage rates.
the mortgage rates. Yeah,
Right? The mortgage rates. The housing market is the craziest thing in our economy, I believe, right now.
as far as a bubble.
I mean, I call it a bubble. I think it is a bubble. A lot of your realtors are telling you, no, come buy a house.
Well, yeah, that's a job.
And look, if you're trying to buy a forever home, then, it probably doesn't matter when you buy because prices fluctuate over time.
Mhm.
But the house, I bought my house for $270,000 in September of 2020. We got, we negotiated 25,000 down. They wanted almost 300 for it. We bought it. And right now, there are houses in my neighborhood that are all basically the same size, going for 500. 500 in less than 2 years, in a year and a half. Okay. Why is that? What is one reason why that's happening?
The money supply pretty much went up 40%.
The money
in that
supply,
time.
but then you got BlackRock coming in, buying up a lot of these home prices and pushing them up further than the average person can afford. And what's really fascinating about that is that really has heated up this year and it continues to get more and more outlandish, the amount that they're willing to pay. Where do you think all this money came from?
Yeah.
They have trillions of dollars. But what did they make a ton of profit on last year? Tech stocks, crypto,
Mhm.
exactly what you're saying. They moved money out of that last year and they've been moving it into real estate this year. And the real estate is not about house flipping for them.
No.
It's a bigger plan, great reset stuff. That they don't want you to own a house. They want to own everything and rent it to you.
They want to take property rights away from individuals.
Yeah.
Which
exactly.
is one of your number one ways of actual sovereignty is owning your land.
Yeah.
And they want to remove that.
Or your digital real estate and owning Bitcoin. That's what Michael Saylor would tell you.
Yep.
Speaking of, Brazil's Senate approves Bitcoin law to regulate crypto. So there we go. Brazil's Senate has passed the country's first bill governing cryptocurrencies in a plenary session, which will set the stage for the creation of a regulatory framework. The bill must be approved by the Chamber of Deputies. So making big progress in Brazil. I mean, if Brazil were to accept Bitcoin as legal tender, that'd be massive news. It's a big economy.
I was hoping there'd be some kind of announcement at the Bitcoin conference about Brazil.
Yeah.
But
I heard Argentina.
Yeah.
I heard 17 different rumors and none of them happened.
Yep.
Mexican Senate building gets its own Bitcoin ATM as the country braces to regulate crypto. So same thing we just saw in Brazil.
Mhm.
We're seeing Mexico getting ready to get more serious about crypto. They have a Bitcoin ATM in the Senate building. It was installed on April 26th in Mexico City. It's country's 14th. It's only the 14th ATM. Wow. I mean, it just seems like a country as big as Mexico, they'd have more than 14, right?
Yeah. You'd think.
I mean, cartels got to launder that money somehow.
I was going to say the same thing.
They're probably in the living rooms of the,
Yeah. I was going to say, you'd think these drug money countries would be very pro crypto in general.
Absolutely.
Not saying everybody that uses crypto is a criminal. Just saying.
It's like every square is a rectangle, but every rectangle is not a square.
There you go.
Because, a square fits the qualifications of a
Geometry.
rectangle. It's a shape, but it's all equal. So it's a square. So it's kind of the same thing. Like everybody's laundering money is, in some way probably thinking of a crypto strategy, but not everybody that's in crypto is thinking about laundering money. 0.1% of all transactions is the latest estimate. So 1 out of 1,000. Mexican senator and outspoken crypto enthusiast Indira Kempis shared a photo of the new ATM on Twitter. Wow. And let's see, prior to the installation, they had a forum where they talked about it. They want to increase competitiveness in their economy. They hope, crypto is something they can use to do that. So salute them. We also have this. This is kind of a big story. Central African Republic adopts Bitcoin as legal tender. A statement from the president's office on Wednesday confirms the passage and signing of the necessary legislation. Does this make it the second country?
Well,
there's
been
for some reason I
some,
think Tonga.
yeah, there's
something
been
like
some random tiny islands,
but like some
and-
territories, but I don't know about a country.
I don't know.
Let's see how big this country is. Central African Republic. Let's see here. Pretty big. Pretty big. Let's see here. Does it have a map?
Well, maybe Paraguay did do it. Oh no, predict next country region. Paraguay's still on the list. So Coin Market Cap actually has this legal tender
Really?
countries.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Where's that at?
I Googled it, but
Let's see. Bitcoin legal tender countries. By the way, you remember yesterday we were talking about Elon Musk and or how is Pomp going to what's the word I used?
rationalize.
Yeah, what was that? There's a better word.
Justify?
Reconcile.
Yeah,
reconcile love for Elon Musk with the fact that he's so big on Dogecoin. And I said the maxis are in a really tough situation with this stuff. You know, as Peter McCormick complaining about Dogecoin and Elon Musk today. You know, it was like right after all this, Peter McCormick was starting to go, because Elon Musk had tweeted that the NFT profile pictures on Twitter were ridiculous. I guess like Peter took that to mean that he's bearish on Ethereum for some reason. And, he said, oh, yeah, but Doge is, he called it the S word, the S coin word, which I don't like to say. But I thought that was fascinating. We just talked about yesterday, and now the maxis are starting to put together like, hey, it's great for free speech, but you're using Bitcoin is great. But remember, you can't be in our cult.
Right.
So this is the list, Coin Market Cap here. It does say Paraguay. You're right.
Paraguay. So those are next.
Oh, so yeah, it was the number 11th ranked guess. So you can probably bet on this on Augur or some of those prediction.
I'm sure you could.
I'm not suggesting you go bet on it, but
No.
the number 11 country. I mean, those are
Interesting. They've got U.S. number 4. I would put it lower. There's not a big upside.
Why would Venezuela be on the list? I don't think their government is down with that. Paraguay could be next. Panama. It's interesting. They have United States as number 4.
That's what I was just saying. I
when you said it, I thought like that low, but you mean that high? Yeah,
that's way too
That's
high.
crazy.
There's no incentive for the United States to do that, really.
Well,
like if you look at
just by random votes.
Well, if you look at there's just like user votes.
User votes.
Probably.
Probably a lot of people would say Venezuela because of hyperinflation and like
right.
a low IQ is like, oh yeah, they would obviously do it because they have hyperinflation, but their government, their leadership probably won't allow it.
They're probably trying to stay in control.
Yeah. So, but Central African Republic was number 11, and it is now going to be added to this list. Countries with crypto as legal tender, only 2. So this is bigger news. I can't believe people aren't talking about it. I mean, look, I've always said I think it's a failure. Bitcoin is currency right now, today, or one day, 50 years, maybe it succeeds. It's digital gold, in my opinion. So I don't think it's beneficial for these third world countries to have their citizens spending an appreciating asset. But at the same time, like it's not great for them. It's good notoriety for Bitcoin, and it's also gives it more credibility, if you will.
It's a good step in the right direction.
Yeah. So I don't ever want anybody to think that like I'm against Bitcoin being the world currency one day. I think that'll happen. I just think that we're way further away from it. We've got a lot of battles in the short term. Right now, we're in a place where it doesn't make sense outside of maybe microtransactions to spend your Bitcoin, especially if you're in a third world country.
Save it.
All right. Next, we got 21 Shares launches hybrid Bitcoin and gold ETP. That's an exchange traded product to enable inflation hedge. Launched in cooperation with ByteTree, the new bold ETP by 21 Shares comprises 18.5% of Bitcoin and 81.5% of gold at launch. 21 Shares is an ETP tracking a mix of Bitcoin and gold. You think
Peter Schiff's worst nightmare?
It is. Yeah, it is. The Switzerland-based firm announced the launch of, it's called Bold. That's pretty funny.
That is good. Bitcoin and gold.
That's pretty funny right there. I didn't even think about that at first.
And it's 75% gold, 25% Bitcoin.
It's 81% and
I meant the word bold.
Oh, yeah.
It's close.
Oh, you're saying it's, I see the letters.
Yeah.
God, TJ, you are so incredibly analytical. I really enjoyed that. That was great feedback right there. That was really fantastic. That's why y'all watch the show right there. No other channel will give you what TJ just gave you. He broke percentages of letters based on the original word.
Yeah.
And it almost mimics
the breakdown in the fund.
breakdown of the assets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, somebody needs to make a TikTok about that. Conspiracy TikTok. You know, there's a guy that does rap lyrics and he shows like how deep some of them are.
I love
like
those
Kendrick
TikToks.
Lamar, like Clips, like some of those raps are so incredibly deep.
Yeah.
And you have no idea.
Right.
You would never know it hearing the song unless you really knew that rapper's career or what he was referencing. Very similar with this, guys. You know, somebody could make a TikTok showing that breakdown of the letters. Absolutely phenomenal. Wow. Listed on the Swiss exchange. A lot of them are on the Swiss exchange. All these ETPs. It comprises, we already talked about the breakdown, developed in collaboration with the UK-based alternative investment provider. We love the UK here on the channel, as you guys know. We love soccer, football. Gold has historically delivered portfolio protection in inflationary environments, while Bitcoin, did I say Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the digital equivalent of gold. So there you go. There you go. Robinhood acts as almost 1 in 10 staff members as stock hits all-time low. And I did see somebody tweet about this yesterday.
Whoa.
Can't remember who it was.
That's insane.
It was a crypto account. I think it was a YouTuber who said it. But they said that basically 1 out of 10 Robinhood employees got fired, laid off, whatever you want to say. But they're actively still hiring people in their crypto department.
What does that tell you?
Somebody said
means it's good to we know what's on your mind.
I said DIT. D-I-T is what I said.
Yeah, that's what they heard.
Yeah, I'm sure that's
what it shows, I think that those numbers is you need to get educated on crypto.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If you work at Robinhood, you know something about crypto, probably kept your job.
Yeah.
And that's going to continue as we go through this, changing of the guard or reset or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. People that keep up with where the tech is going will be very valuable.
Yeah. Somebody said 1 in 10 is a fancy way to say 10%.
I was going to say, yeah, it is.
Is that a fancy way to say 10%?
Well, it's
1 in 10.
Another way. I think 10%,
I think when you
10% might be a fancy way to say 1 of 10.
There you go. I think you might be onto it there. But I think the interesting thing about the wording, I think when you say 1 out of 10, it makes it a little more personal. It's like, oh my gosh, if I was in a room with 10 people,
one of them,
I might get killed if I'm the one, Whereas if you say 10%, I don't think you don't think of it as literally 10. You think of it as, probably 10 out of 100.
Yeah, you think most of us got through.
Yeah, we've been saying some fancy stuff today.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
As far as this layoff story goes, what's interesting is, that their stock, let's actually pull up the Robinhood stock. Like, it's gotten crushed, right, since it launched.
Yeah, it's been, I don't know about since.
I think it had the worst launch ever.
Did it?
Yeah, I remember that. It was the worst launch ever. It was some category, but it was a very broad category. It wasn't even, like a super niched category. It was very broad. Let's see, Robinhood Markets.
While you're looking at that, Fort Rocket saying Ben should take more credit for telling everyone the U.S. dollar was going to get stronger for 3 months now.
I told you all that all the end of last year.
All fall, we were saying,
everyone said no. Yeah. Go watch Around the Blockchain. Go look at those episodes from last year. We certainly weren't right about everything. We know that, okay? But all year, they were saying, no, the price of Bitcoin is going to get higher because the dollar is going to continue to weaken. And I kept saying, look at the DXY. Actually, it's on an uptrend. Deflation is the only way out of this. And that's where we're at right now, So hate to say I told you so, but it's actually my favorite thing. So this is the chart from Robinhood from the launch.
Golly. Well, and I think this is what we started to see.
This has got to be like one of the biggest drops for a major stock. in the first year. Like $85, it just hit a new low. $9. It's down 90% almost.
That's insane.
I seem so calm, like I started yoga. Now I think it's just, guys, let me try to think of the best way to say this. I am very comfortable in a bear market. I am very comfortable in it.
You were born in the bear market.
You lived through a bear market. I was born into it. What is it?
Something like
You
that.
merely adopted the bear market. I was born into it. I started this channel the first month of the bear market. Okay? I built the entire channel.
We're actually uncomfortable in a bull market. It feels weird. This is normal.
A lot of pressure, guys, accumulate. This is the easy time right now. This is accumulate. Get the long-term mindset. Learn our investing philosophy. Sign up for bitlabacademy.com. Learn more about crypto. Become an expert in something. Very comfortable in it. So I probably do seem a little more comfortable because I'm not stressed about, is the XRP case going to end by this date? Or I'm not stressed about, is it going to hit $100,000? It didn't. So, we can be a little more comfortable now. And, we learned some lessons for the next cycle for sure. So
I will say though, like you said, we were wrong about the number, but over the fall, we were right about way more things than we missed. We were right about the timeline. We were right about the rate hikes. We were right about the dollar strengthening. We were right about the bear market coming when it did. We were right calling it trending down as it did. So if you listen to what we said and took actions similar to the actions we told you guys we were taking, you're probably in a pretty decent spot, because I know we are.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also understanding, like, now that we're comfortable with where we're at in the market cycle, I think that, now it's time to really start reflecting on what did we do right? What did we do wrong? How can we do even better? And that's what you should be thinking too. I made this tweet about, if you're still on crypto Twitter or you're still watching crypto YouTube, you've either already made it in crypto or you're right on, you're going to break through in the next cycle, Somebody already made the meme coin.
I don't know.
It's up 50%.
Either way, it's a funny comment if it doesn't exist.
When I said it, I thought, I hope it didn't sound like I said that.
Oh, it definitely did.
Yeah. Well, I was combining Bitcoin with digital currency.
Oh my God. It is up 50%.
Guys.
That's amazing.
This is must be named after Robin from Batman, Dick Grayson. Ditcoin, which I accidentally misspoke and said, it's now up 50% with a market cap of $2,900. Wow. Do not buy this.
Do not.
No, this is not a promotion for this coin by any stretch of the imagination. I do not advise adding this back. I do not advise adding this satchel to your collection.
To your coin purse. Do not put that in your coin purse.
Do not put... That'll be good for your coin purse. Oh, man, we're so off the rails right now.
Yep.
But we're having fun.
Hey, we're about
Ray Dalio, stark economic warning, says global paradigm shift underway. Is crypto the answer? Billionaire investor and hedge fund manager Ray Dalio believes U.S. dollar and fiat currencies around the world are locked in a spiraling and never-ending state of decline. In a new interview with Yahoo Finance, Dalio says that on a scale of 1 to 10, his concern about inflation has jumped to between an 8 and a 10. At this point, he believes governments have no real way to control the decay in the purchasing power of their currencies. He believes the Fed rate increases will slightly curb inflation. Regulators won't be able to get it down to an acceptable level. He says if you're borrowing more money than you're lending, you have a lot of debt. So here's, he's basically telling you right here, when you're borrowing money, you're borrowing a derivative in a sense. When you're borrowing, when you're lending out a real asset, kind of saying, like, not too bad to hold on to your cash positions right now. That's what he's saying. Okay. You either are going, we are the only person saying that last year. No other channel was talking about that. I think towards the end of the year, I think Rice Crypto started talking about it a little bit. There were maybe a handful of others.
It was when Kathy Wood started to talk about it a little bit. People would echo that, but they wouldn't, and we talked about all the cash positions Apple and Berkshire Hathaway were holding, and a lot of these big CEOs. There's a reason everybody has their money in cash, because they're waiting to see what happens.
So you either are going to pay back in hard money or in soft money. So it creates a difficult trade-off. Trade-off becomes more and more difficult, and that's what brings stagflation, because they try to navigate between those two undesirables. In other words, they want to contain inflation, but too high of an interest rate that's good enough for inflation causes too much economic environment turbulence. That is exactly what we have been talking about for months, about the long tail problem of inflation versus the short-term problem of increasing rates. So let's see. People are beginning to question the fundamental concept of money or nature of money. We're beginning a paradigm shift. The mindset that we had low inflation, and when you're owning bonds, you're owning cash, you're operating one way, and you don't worry about that, and companies don't worry about it in their inventories or having larger inventories. So, oh man, so that is pretty crazy. Yep, hold on to your cash right now. It's not a bad thing to put money in crypto. I think dollar cost averaging is good, but you know, I think there is something to be said about the dollar index continuing to get stronger and stronger. It broke through resistance. Definitely have to watch it. XRP Army, where you at? If you ain't in the XRP Army, then where the you at? Guys, I got to tell you, you know it's going to be so hard for me not to say anything.
Yeah. It's been so hard for you not to say anything. It's just getting harder.
We've got multiple things going on that I cannot give you the plain details of yet, but I am busting at the seams. I've been dropping Easter eggs. People, you know, if you don't know what's going on, you wouldn't know.
Like the Ether bunny.
Like the Ether money. But what I'll tell you is, I got some news yesterday. XRP Army, you've never seen anything like what we're going to do. It is going to be the most insane thing XRP has ever seen. The community has ever seen. And that's guaranteed. That's guaranteed. That's guaranteed. No one is doing what we're going to do. And you guys are going to love it. And I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Got confirmation of this thing we've been trying to do yesterday. And man, it is going to be so awesome. There's an event. There's an NFT project. But when y'all find out where this event is going to be, y'all are going to die. Well, no, please don't die. We want you to come to the event. But it is going to be the greatest event crypto has ever seen by a long shot. Okay. So the Bitcoin conference people will be, they will be blown away. They'll be like, why didn't we think of that? So anyways, back to the story here. 115.3 million XRP sent by Ripple and large exchanges to this destination. Where did it get sent to? Ripple fintech giant and a couple of large digital exchanges have shifted a whopping 115.3 million XRP coins, with the firm moving more than half of the total amount. Approximately 15 hours ago, Ripple blockchain behemoth spotted making two substantial transfers of 70 million XRP in total, according to BitHump? ByThump.
ByThump.
Well, is it BitHum or BitThumb?
That's a different one.
It is, but it's, that one was always so interesting to me.
ByThump.
ByThump. Love BitHump?
BitHump.
I like BitHump better. So it kind of fits the theme of the show today. BitHump. Okay, XRP focused data provider, one of the wallets, was engaged in both transactions. They were using coins.ph, what we've talked about. They're on a demand liquidity platform. It was sent from Bittrex to Bitstamp. Overall, sum of XRP shoveled by Ripple and exchanges constitutes 74 million in fiat. Brad Garlinghouse said the company's already operating. This was an interesting statement from Brad Garlinghouse. Man, I wish we could get Brad Garlinghouse to come to our event. I hope we can. We need to try to establish a relationship with him on some. I've never talked to him before. So he stated the company's already operating as if the legal case with the SEC has been lost. That's how they've been operating, meaning that the potential victory of the regulator over them would hardly have an impact on the company's business. The CEO stated that 2022 so far has shown the biggest growth for Ripple outside the U.S., company hiring many new employees, 99% of Ripple's customers are based outside of the US. I got to say, I think when you look at this lawsuit, how long it's gone on, all the things that Ripple has been doing in the background, in the context of the world and the banking system, I could very easily make an argument that this lawsuit is going to end up being the best thing that ever happened to XRP. Because you're going to get the clarity of not a security. It's going to be able to hold that over other projects, just like Ethereum and Bitcoin have done to XRP. But it's made the focus on the adoption of RippleNet and also the open source, XRP ledger so much more. It has made that innovation, that push towards those things, advance so much quicker, I think, than I think it would have if this was not the case. And I think you've got tons of banks out there that have agreements in principle as soon as this case is over, that they're going to move in to using RippleNet. All the banks are going to be using this, guys. I'm telling you, this is coming. It's evolution of technology. You cannot shut down evolution of technology. It's a better system than Swift. It solves so many problems. It's so much faster. It's going to happen at some point. I think what Brad Garlinghouse said there is, he also said that in December of 2020, right when the case started. He made the statement, he said, even if we lose the case, which we won't, even if we lost the case and they said XRP is a security, the company will live on. It won't break the company. It would, who it would break? It would break the investor. It would break you. It would break the people out there counting on it to go up in value. It would break the people that, for the first time have a chance to speculate on something they can make a lot of money on. And so, it would be bad in that context, which none of that's going to happen. I don't believe. But it's made the actual adoption so much stronger, in my opinion, due to all that. So, Ripple boss believes this fight with SEC is not only about Ripple, he also thinks it's about the entire crypto industry. Remember, he just recently disclosed he does hold Bitcoin and Ethereum. Cardano and Ripple make the most popular crypto list in South Korea. How about that? People in South Korea love it. So number one is Ripple, the number one South Korean crypto. What's the number one North Korean crypto, you think?
North Korean
Hotcoin?
Crypto?
As Dennis Rodman's coin,
Yeah.
Or they was promoting, I think, when he went to go see
Was he really?
Kim Jong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Potcoin was a big thing. He was.
No, I remember Potcoin. I just didn't know he was promoting it.
Yeah. He wore it, I think, when he met with, Kim Jong-un or whatever his name is over there. I would say it's got to be Monero. Am I right? They finance their entire
Pirate
weapon
chain.
system by hacking.
Yeah, pirate chain.
But pirate. Study, which was carried out by various leading crypto exchanges, has revealed crypto that residents are most invested in. It's not just, and you know what? You've been seeing an effect of Ripple moving into other countries, specifically the APAC region, the Asia Pacific region. And what are we seeing? Now we're seeing Ripple. XRP is the number one most popular coin in South Korea. Not a coincidence. They signed a big deal with, was it the Japanese bank, SBS or whatever it is? I think it's a Japanese bank that operates also in Korea. Whatever it was, we covered a big Korea story last year.
I remember.
With Ripple. And now you're seeing the effects here.
Well, and the APAC region are the same ones that are trying to find solutions for sanctions. So,
absolutely. Bitcoin came out as the most popular crypto among Korean investors. And of course, Ripple, the number one altcoin or XRP. Investors were found to hold more than $5 billion worth of Bitcoin. Wow, 128,000. However, a shocker would be here that the crypto that made second place, XRP, came a close second with locals, reportedly holding almost $4.8 billion with XRP tokens. That is insane.
That is insane.
It just, you know what? It just continues to show you. People have realized the biggest gains with Bitcoin are over. The big money that flows into Bitcoin is coming from people that already have big money. Okay? The retail investor, they are still very favorable about altcoins, XRP being the top of that list. Very interesting stuff going on. Let's look at the quick hits which Iowa City to distribute crypto with new promotional meal box. Look at that promotional meal box. Is this like the God, what was that, guys? The Kyle Shield meal? The Kyle Shield meal at Come and Go?
No, I think this is legit.
That was, you want to talk about people getting mad. That was quite a thing, if you know what I'm talking about.
You're talking about the thing on TikTok that went viral. And
and it turned out the company helped him plan it, and they were all in cahoots, and it wasn't this random thing where he put a cardboard figure of himself in this meal.
So what
that showed me how much people hate people lying to them about promotions. Undisclosed promotions and videos happens in crypto. You know, it certainly has happened before. We've never done it. People say we've never done it a single time. It shows how much people hate it because that TikTok thing for Kyle, it's Sheele. Is how he spells his last name. I think he wrote a book and it was doing really well. People loved him. He did this stunt where he had a cardboard figure of himself. He put it in a Come and Go gas station. That's with a K, Come and Go. And with it holding like a hot dog or something, it said, try the meal, you know. Turns out the entire thing, it was like funny, like, oh, anybody can go just put that in there, a cardboard cutout, and people will think it's cool, and the people that work there won't notice. Turns out the whole thing was cooked up. The comments on that video after it got exposed, people were so, it was a gas station meal. That's how upset people were over a gas station meal, that every comment was like, you know, this guy should be in jail, you know? So very, very interesting. But now we have a real meal box coming to Which. Have you ever eaten a Which sandwich?
I have not, but I hear they're pretty good.
They're decent.
Yeah.
Look, Firehouse Subs to me is the only one that really stands heads and shoulders above the rest. Firehouse is a man sub place. I'll just tell you that. You get that meatball sub or you get that the pastrami. Okay, it's pretty good. Outside of that, every sub place out there is about the same to me. At the end of the day, it's meat and bread. Let's see. A crypto coin, a value of $10, includes a Which branded, a physical coin, starting value of $10. So anyways, that's pretty interesting, I guess. Cardano adding support for smart contracts. And Ledger can ape its way to $20. I think, really regretting Justin selling my crypto. Dragonfly raising $650 million for third crypto fund. 2 more charged with teaching North Koreans to evade U.S. sanctions on crypto. Who is this? EU citizens. Virgil Griffin, the American who went over and did a conference where he did this talk about how they can avoid sanctions with it. He's now in prison for espionage. Basically, like, they consider that spying when you're going to another country telling them how to get away with sanctions. So now we've got 2 more people here. Let's see. Alejandro Caldebinos, a citizen of Spain, and Christopher Ems of the UK conspired to violate U.S. sanctions on North Korea. They jointly planned and organized. Oh, it's the same conference where Virgil Griffin was at. 2019 Pyongyang Blockchain and Crypto Conference. When I was hanging out with Quinn all the time, miss Quinn. He was a great guy. We would go do these street videos. We did a bunch of stuff together. And he had a contact who was trying to get us to come over to a conference in Pyongyang.
Oh boy.
It might have been that one, actually. It might have been that one because it would have been 2019.
Good thing it didn't work out.
I said, no way. Like, you got to, no. He's like, bro, you wouldn't go over to North Korea? No, I would step foot in the country unless it, there was a revolution and it became, a democracy or something like that. I'm sure that the land is nice, I'm sure, but the government is the most insane government in the world. And so I would never do that. So to think about these guys going over there and helping them out with sanctions, I mean, it's just got to be.
You're asking for it.
You're asking for it. Like, how dumb can you be? So anyways, is what it is.
I don't know if it's dumb or just brazen. Like they think they can get away with it, I guess. I don't know. All right,
yeah.
Let's do some Q&A. We had some decent questions today. Crypto Steve-O is asking, is Filecoin dead? I have a small bag. I bought it right before April 2021 pump, and then the price plummeted.
Yeah, so I do not believe Filecoin is dead. I think it's a coin to watch for sure. We don't have any in our portfolio. We've been talking about adding Render to our portfolio possibly. That is, kind of also a it's called render because, it takes a lot of file space to render something. But then after it's rendered, it's easy to use. That's like, you don't have the actual video game development inside of your PlayStation. It's the rendered version. That's how you can go through it so easily and navigate it. So, I think render is one to watch. I do believe one of the big waves we're going to see in crypto is going to be storage coins.
Yeah.
I believe that more every single day. Filecoin, render, storage. There's plenty of other ones out. I think Arweave does some stuff with that too. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. So it's something to watch because you don't have enough computer power on individual computers to do the things that people are going to need to do to build in metaverse. So, I think this, and then Theta, one to watch as well. Theta kind of fits into that category as well with streaming, extra bandwidth unused. So, all right.
That's what I would say about Filecoin too. They have so much money. When things raise that much, you can't. It's hard to call it dead when they have such a strong use case.
Yeah,
no guarantee
Filecoin is going to be a surviving coin.
Yeah, no guarantee they'll be the winner of that space, but they've got plenty of runway.
Thanks, Dan, for that comment.
Safe Survey or Survey. Q&A is dollar cost averaging on Bitcoin a good idea right now, or would you wait a bit?
I think the downside to Bitcoin is not going to be low enough to where you will be kicking yourself for accumulating at these levels.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're accumulating at 60K, well, you know what? You're already in a bad spot. It's going to get worse. If you're dollar cost averaging right now, I really don't believe we're going below 27. I don't believe we're going below 27. It is possible there are scenarios exist. It goes to 17, whatever. I don't think we're going below 27. I think we're basically going to form a double bottom, test the bottom, and then it's either going to have a moment where it's going to plunge down and pop right back up, or, it's going to bounce right off the bottom, right off of that 30 or that 29 or 28.5 number. That's kind of what I'm expecting. So look, that's only $27,000 is only 11,000 from here. That would be like about, a 30% drop. I think you can handle that in the portfolio right now.
Yeah. If crypto dumps 90% on average for bear markets, on average, what does it go up from
raw to top?
Yeah, it's a hard question to read, but I think he means from bottom to top.
Okay, so
this isn't necessarily consistent anymore either.
Okay, so 90% drops are pretty average for altcoins, really closer to 95%, but that's not real. Because it's not an average, because we really only have one altcoin cycle to compare it to.
Correct.
So the one true bear market during the altcoin age that we've had, we saw altcoins drop an average of about 95%. If you average it out, well, I don't know what that's going to be because you'll have to see what happens this cycle. I don't think some coins we have already seen almost 90% drop. So it's not out of the question for a lot of stuff. I don't think we're seeing a 90% drop for Ethereum. I don't think we're seeing a 90% drop for Cardano. I don't think we're seeing a 90% drop, for Sandbox or, XRP is certainly a wild card. So when you ask the question of average for Bitcoin, it's 85% is what we've seen over time. But every cycle, that number changes a little bit based upon what just happened. The last cycle, we hit 85, like right on the head. So, or maybe it was like 83, so something like that. From the bottom to pull up the question again, hit Command Z, Control Z. On average, what does it go from bottom to top? So we have diminishing returns from the bottoms to the tops, but the tops to the bottoms have been somewhat consistent for Bitcoin. So that's where things get a little interesting. Average, it's about 4 years from a top to a top. It's about 2 years from a bottom to a top.
And Chaz saying, if the peak percentages are down, won't the drops be less also?
It was actually 3 years.
And the answer
it was 2 years. Say that again.
Chaz here saying, if the peak percentages are down, won't the drops be less also?
Yes, that's what we've been telling you for a while. We do believe that for sure. You hear a lot of people talking about max pain on the market. Altcoin Daily talks about it all the time. I love Altcoin Daily. They're great. They talk about max pain a lot. We're going to have to experience max pain. we didn't get max euphoria. So when you don't get max euphoria, you don't get max pain.
Right.
You get max pain because everybody's over leveraged and taking loans. How many people did you hear of taking loans to buy crypto over this cycle?
I mean, I heard a lot of people talking about it. I don't know how many actually did it.
Not that many that I know of.
Right.
And now we were telling the message, don't do that. Even though the market looks great, it's a bad idea to take out loans to buy crypto. In 2017, so many people were taking loans for crypto. Yeah. So I think that shows we didn't get to that max euphoria.
And buying it on credit cards and all sorts of different stuff. So, okay, a couple more real quick. Could Avalanche ever become the next Ethereum? It's EVM compatible and runs on the same code, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, so Avalanche is a great project. I think it's going to be right up there. I think it has a look. I think Ethereum is number one. Will stay number one.
Yeah.
I think Cardano may have the best chance. It understands it from the inside because Charles played a very pivotal role in the creation of Ethereum. He saw the problems early on. Huge community. There's a lot to like about Cardano. It's got a lot more to prove, though, to even get up there. I believe Ethereum is going to stay number one. I think you're going to have a second tier. You're going to have Avalanche, Solana, Cardano, and also maybe Elrond. Elrond's still a sleeper. Did I say Polkadot?
You didn't?
And Polkadot. Those are your main competitors for that second tier. Well, Terra Luna, I guess.
Yeah.
I still don't even have my hands around or my head around Terra Luna.
There's going to be definitely a battle for that number 2 spot. And until that gets settled, there's really nobody that's looking to knock out Ethereum yet. They're all plausible. Any one of those could potentially knock out Ethereum, but
who's talking about the chocolate fountain over there under the basement?
Probably
no, it's at the bottom right there. That's what I talk about all the time. The chocolate fondue fountain.
The fondue.
It was always my analogy for explaining alt season.
All right, last question, then we have to wrap it up.
Yep.
From Buck Slayer 4x4. When Bitcoin bottoms out based on the last year's high of either April or November, when will altcoins bottom out? Also, just for fun, can we take some stabs at the higher market cap alt price prediction bottoms? That might be another video.
That should be a whole video. Just kind of first crack at it, though. What I would be looking at for the top Bitcoin, I said probably 27,000. I think Ethereum 2,200. Binance Coin, I don't know, 275, 250 somewhere. That's just a guess. I'm not as familiar with Binance Coin. I don't love it like I love some of these other coins. Solana, man, I can see Solana pulling back to $25 really. I can see Solana having a massive drop because that had a massive run up. XRP. Look, I think 30 cents is in play for XRP. I think like 45-ish cents is definitely somewhere to watch. Terra Luna, I'm not going to take a stab at. Cardano, I just don't think this thing is going to go below, 40 to 50 cents. I just can't see it being that undervalued again. Yeah, so there you go. No guesses on Dogecoin. Polkadot could go back to $10 probably. It's not far enough in its development ecosystem to hold, a lot of coins because users are using it yet. So yeah, so there you go. I see Polygon going back down to 65 cents, So that's what we're looking now. As far as the time-wise goes, the timeline for altcoins, it is different. If you look at Ethereum, so here's what's interesting about Ethereum. When Bitcoin crashed, it did not, I'm going to wrap here in a second. It did not reach a new low during the pandemic. It dropped to 3,900. The low was December 2018 at 3,200. Ethereum did make a new low on the pandemic crash. And so when you look here, when you go back to 2019, the low would have been 2020, 312, $112. It dipped that day to $79 though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, or 89. I bought some at 89.
$89 it actually dropped to and wicked back up. The closing price was $114. But that was an insane drop. So it actually bottomed. That would have been 1 year and December of 2018. All December. That would have been about a year and a half afterwards. But if you would have taken that pandemic crash out of it, because I think that is an outlier. I don't think we're going to see another massive bottom in the right before the halving like we saw then. It would have been actually the same. it did dip below this, but the closing price is actually interesting here, TJ. The closing price in 2018 near the bottom of Bitcoin was 102. It dropped to 80 something. 80, $85 was the low, it looks like. Yeah. Wow. $85. That would have been almost on the exact day the Bitcoin bottomed. I think it bottomed 1217. So pretty much same thing. Here's what you see from the altcoins. You see much more sideways stagnation and not as much volatility when it gets near low numbers. Perfect for accumulation. All right, guys, that is all we got for today. I'll be with a live stream for you guys tomorrow from Sacramento. Thank you so much for watching. I won't be on Around the Blockchain the rest of the week as I'm heading out of town. That's all I got. Be blessed.